What's up, dude?
What up, Dum Dum? How you doing?
Good, man. I was up early this morning. I did a sunrise run. It was
Oh,
amazing.
nice,
It was amazing.
nice.
Starting the
Yeah,
day off right.
we've had some pretty rough nights. Every single one of my kids is sick, so there have been visits for the last few nights from every one of my kids, which is very unusual. So we've not been sleeping very well in our household. It's been a little. There's not been. There's been some sunrise activity. None of it is
None of it is exercise.
PT or necessarily something I'd characterize as awesome. But I'm happy for you. I am happy for you. I truly am.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, what are we talking about today? We've been started the house one of the Storehouse Mastermind,
Yeah, man.
which has been amazing. But also, man, the OG house has been going strong, dude. Strong. We've had some serious conversations in there, and man, I've been blown away. Had some major breakthroughs.
Yeah, and one thing I want to emphasize because I always love to take deep conversations and reading and all these things that we do that we emphasize that we really encourage others to do and really without action to me they're nothing, right? Like I read a
Yeah,
book recently, You Are a Badass, and there's a lot of things I like about it. There's a lot of things I was like, but one thing I loved about it is she said, you have the opportunity to you read all these books and you have the opportunity to go back to your couch and do nothing about it and read another book, or you have an opportunity to go do something. And I really like how she framed it much more eloquently than I did. But Jen Sincero is her name. But it hit me because like that speaks to my heart, right? Like you take these things and you put them into your life and do something about it. And so in the mastermind, what I have absolutely loved is we're doing these things that traditionally could be they're great exercises. Right now we're wrapping up core
or
value
values.
development.
Yeah,
And 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 I think that a lot of times, and I've been guilty of this before too, is you finish your core value thinking through, reading, defining these things that are important to you, and then you're like, sweet, I got my core values, and you post them on the wall, check the block, and now you're on to something else. And what's been awesome is as we've gone through this exercise, this group of dudes has really put them into action. And what's even I think cooler is that watching other dudes put them into action has I've put things into action, but it's forced me to put even more action and be more diligent so that when we all come back together, I forgot who said it, but they said it's almost like, oh, Dave Perez. He's like, it's almost like there's this accountability has created this very friendly competition
yeah.
where
It's like you have
I
to
know if
one up each other.
yeah, you have to one up each other in your implementing your core values.
Yeah,
but he said it in jest, but there is truth in, like, you can't be in a group of men like this and not take action, right? Like you can't just cruise. And you could lie, but that's to your integrity, right? And they're not gonna, that's the whole point of this group. Like it's a group of men that would never, that doesn't appeal to them, and they want to be better. And
yeah,
so you all, we provide these tools and we all go through them together, and they give us like more insights than we would have ever come up with, and then we implement them, right? We use this paradigm this paradigm that we created called real, and the last part of that, the L, is live it. It's intentionally built in there. And so it's been really incredible to see how dudes are implementing this stuff, and it's not just conversations about core values and your why and what's important, and let's get, why it's important men have relationships. Like this stuff is happening in the group, and it's awesome.
yeah, yeah. And it's really cool to see, the differences between the men in this group, and like how they handle things differently, and how they, talk to their families differently, and how they implement differently, based on, who we are as individuals. I'm like the engineer checklist guy, scheduled on the calendar, make it a day of implementing. And there's some other guy like John Laney. He said he has like a full-blown like family meeting document that they go through, almost like traction style, like like a business meeting. I'm similar. And then like our buddy James Gray, like, dude, like he started talking about getting a family crest and coat of arms, and working through that with his family, and having that be like a fun thing to do with family. And I started looking into that, and there's some websites where you can kind of create your coat of arms with your core values. But however you do it, the point is, core values. And once you've developed those, like you said, we're taking action on it, but you're implementing it, and you're actually having discussions, and you're making decisions, and you're acting them out on a regular basis, and you're teaching your kids about those values, so they can grow up to be, amazing human beings, hopefully, by our teachings, and them have those same core values, and be able to understand, and take action on those, and make decisions on those as well. So, we've been implementing family meetings, like just all kinds of really cool stuff, man. You're muted.
One,
There you go.
oh, that's weird. There's a delay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's a couple points there that really I think are huge takeaways too. And one is there's the element of the creativity and things I would have never thought about. I never thought about like a family crest. Like that's just not, I just never would have thought of that. But what's cool about that, it's not the family crest per se. It's the fact that your kids most likely are going to be like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like I want to be involved in like in because you're drawing stuff and it's art, there's some art involved, and they're coloring and they're picking what fits. And so in that exercise, you're doing something fun, but it's also cool. It develops this family crest, but then it's getting their minds up in a place that is not like, I didn't grow up doing core values, and you have core values. Your family espouses things whether you say it or not, and so it's why not just be intentional about it, right? And I don't know if my kids' core values are going to be the same as mine, like, and that's not really the point. I'm just happy that they are exposed to and will go through the process of creating core values, right? So that when they leave the house or whatever, they at least have they've been exposed to that. They know what it means, they know what it is, and it's something that I hope, what my biggest hope is, that it's important to them.
Yep.
Not that, well, dad's core value is, honesty and whatever. That's not that's not as important as them being like, well, what are my core values? What is important to me, and how can I have a framework from which to make decisions in the future, and hopefully those decisions are good decisions, right? Because at some point, man, like our time with them is short.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be out making decisions. They're going to be making this, not even today. Today is first day of Collins is going back to school. My kids go back to school next week. They're already going to be making decisions, right, on the playground, and what they have value from an educational standpoint. And they're already making these decisions. So hopefully we can give them a gift of thinking through core values so that they can at least have a framework from which they make decisions in the future. And I think that's a very powerful thing.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Not so dumb, pretty deep. You're dumb.
You're a dumb, but at least you take action, and at least
Dude,
you're surrounded by a group of men who aren't dumb, so that a lot of the decisions you do make, you can bounce them off of a lot of dudes who are not dumb, because you are really dumb.
I just follow what everyone else does. So that makes me not so dumb.
That's what you should do. Just be a follower.
Yeah.
Hey man, I just want to be a follower. Good
Good
stuff,
stuff, man.
man. It's good stuff.
All right. Hey, if this is something that sounds interesting, we're going to be opening up more houses within the Storehouse Mastermind. And let's get together with a group of men that's going to hold you accountable and make you better. It absolutely has made David way better, like way better, and he still has a lot of room to grow.
Yeah, man.
So
Hey, dude. I was fighting with my wife on our vacation.
yeah,
Had our mastermind meeting, and it challenged me in so many ways that it drove me to initiate resolution way quicker than I would have, and that made the vacation awesome. So like that's very practical, right?
there you
And
go.
if you aren't interested in something like this, then you're a dum dum.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
You guys have an amazing Friday. Don't be dumb, be deep, and go fill the storehouse.
But if you don't fill the storehouse and you're dumb, be deep, and congratulations. And I love you. Out.
See ya.